And we're back. Today we are playing Advanced Dungeons and Dragons. Guys, I have gotten the 1E itch. It has been all over my brain. We've got my home table is back at first edition. We are doing a bunch of amazing escapades on Twitter with first edition and Broser. I am going to be using Dunder Moose's 20 flippin' steps to roll up a PC to create a PC for a solo play. I am looking at what he's got here. He's got a step-by-step option. It's got 20 plus a bonus step on how to build a character. I've done this before. We should be able to move through this pretty quickly. Let's start with step 1. Dunder Moose, you're amazing for this pamphlet. It has been a lifesaver. Today's our character's birthday, 0 XP. We know that. Rolling ability scores. There are 4 methods, but if your DM is a Chad, he'll make you use method 3. This method takes a little bit, but I think it's worth it. So let's come over to the Dungeon Master's Guide. Let's look at method 3. Method 3, scores rolled are according to each ability. In order, strength, intelligence, wisdom, dex, con, and charisma. 3d6 are rolled 6 times each for each ability, and the highest one is kept. So we don't know what we're about to get, but we are a Chad DM, so we have to do it this way. Start with strength. Here we go. Okay, one more try to break the 16. Nah, okay, no big deal, because 16 is an incredible stat. Okay, so, whoa. This dude is a hoss, okay? Absolute beast mode. So let's get this out of the way. We're not gonna need it for a little bit. Roll your ability scores. There are 4 methods. Okay, we did that. Note that each ability score has a table that will limit your options on the next 2 steps. So pay attention to table 1 for each ability score. Let's look at page 9 through 13. These are just gonna be describing the ability scores. I don't think it's gonna stop us for this next step, which is pick a race from the available options based upon your ability scores. I am going to pick half-elf. So as we're filling in the stats, we will do that. Okay, it says adjust ability scores based upon your race. Pay special attention to the character race table on page 14. I don't think we've got anything that's gonna inhibit us. All right, cool. So we're just gonna go Ranger. I'm pretty sure we have the stats for Ranger. We don't get any modifier. So we're just gonna move on to the next step, which is adjust your ability score. Okay, number 6, pick a class based upon your ability scores and race limitations. Note that high ability scores will let some classes level up faster. I don't think I'm gonna hit that threshold because it was like 15s and everything, but that's okay. Let's see, we're gonna come over to the Ranger section. We need an alignment, of course, we're gonna be good. Strength, not less than 13. Oh, we need to check. I'm pretty sure we hit that. Yeah, okay, we did. Intelligence, not less than 13. We got that. Wisdom, not less than 14. Oh, we can't do it. Oh, man. And then we have Dex of 18. Okay, yeah, so there's 2 reasons why we can't do it. Okay, so we don't have the Ranger. I wanted the Ranger. We can't get the Ranger. So we have to come back. We need to take a look again. Okay, we can't get what we want. Sadly, we missed out on the Ranger. That is too much. That's too bad. So what I'm thinking instead is we go with I say we go ahead and go Elven thief. Okay, so that makes this a 19, and then the constitution is going to go down to 9. So we have a 9 here. So we have a 15, 17, 13, 19, 9, and 16. This elven thief is going to be a beast. Okay, so we did the ability scores and the race, and we have unlimited levels. An elf can go unlimited levels in thief, so that's awesome. Roll for age. This is based on the class if you're human, or race if you are not. Well, let's go over to the Dungeon Master's Guide, page 12 to 13. We are an elf, so we are going to be an elf thief. Here we go. 100 plus 5d6. Okay, I gotta grab some more d6. I'm an old guy. Let's see, what was that? I couldn't see, it was in the corner. Okay, we have 10, we have 7, 11, so 21. So 121. Knowing that we are 121, that puts us in we are gonna be high elf. We are in the young adult bracket. So we just subtract 1 point of wisdom and we add a point of constitution. So we bring our scores back to what they were. Our wisdom will go up to 14. And now I think we can start filling in our character sheet. Okay, so let's start filling in our character sheet. We are a thief. We are elf, level 1. Okay, that's adjusted now. All right, so we're elf. I don't know what our thief title is. We'll get to that one in a second. Ooh, here is something we're gonna be true neutral. Our movement for now, we'll come back to that. And we have age, I'm 121. We have 0 XP. Strength is 15. Intelligence is 17. Wisdom is 14. Dex is 19. Con is back to 10 after some ups and downs. And our charisma is 16. That is massive. So let's look at strength. We have +0 with a 15, which gives us also a +0 to our damage modifier. We open, would you look at that? We have an extra 200 in coin weight. Let's go ahead and put that right there. We open doors on a 1 through a 2, and we have a very small percentage chance of bending bars. Is going to be at 7%. Intelligence. Now this is going to be limited based upon our race. So this number will adjust the amount of languages that we know, but that's in the race section, and I'm gonna have to go back and read that in just a little bit. Wisdom, on the other hand, with a 14, that gives us a +0 modifier. Dexterity is going to be huge for this thief. We're gonna be getting a 10% XP bonus. I'm gonna put that right here. We have a 19. I don't know if it goes off of this chart, if it goes up any higher. We'll have to check in with some of the experts, but I don't think it does. So we have reaction and attacking adjustment, it's +3. And then we have defensive adjustment is gonna be -4. -4 to the AC, that is huge. We'll come back to our thief skills in just a moment. Constitution is at 10. We get 0 additional hit points, +0. We have a 70% shock and 75% res. With 16 charisma, we are able to have 8 henchmen. Their loyalty base is +20, and their reaction bonus is going to be +25. That's great. That's percentage. Step 10, write down all the cool stuff your race and classes can do at first level. Pay attention to alignment restrictions on your race and classes for the next step. Okay, we're over at the Elven section. A thief or an assassin, maximum of 10th. An Elven character can be multi-class. We're not doing that. Elves have a 90% chance to resist sleep and charm, +1 to hit with bows and crossbows. We know elf, we know gnome, halfling, goblin, hobgoblin, orc, gnoll, common, and we get to know 2 more languages. We're gonna leave those blank until it comes up in the game, and then we'll select a language. It's kind of metagamey, but it's, we're gonna be solo playing with this character, and so as we encounter things, we can just fill in the gaps, and then that's canon. We can see 60 feet infrared. Passing within 10 feet of a secret door gives us a 1 in 6 chance of finding it, but actively searching for it gives us a 2 in 6, and a 1 in 3 chance of finding concealed doors. If they're moving silently and they're not in metal armor, they can surprise monsters on a 1 through 4, which is amazing. Unless if they have to open a door, and then it reduces it to the normal surprise, which is on a 1 or a 2. To continue on, we need to move over to the thief section to finish up part 10. And here we can see that the title is a rogue. Now, the thief has lots of really cool abilities. A whole lot of them. So let's go through and fill these in. First up, we have pickpocketing. It's a base of 30. The elf gets another 5%. So we have 35, and then my 18 makes me 45% chance of pickpocketing. That's really good. Next up, we have open locks. It's a base of 25. The elf gets a -5, so it goes down to 20. And then my 18 gives me another 15, so we're at 35. Next, we have find and remove traps. We're just gonna put traps for that. Now, the base skill is 20. Elves get nothing onto that, but I will be getting a 5% bonus, so this will be a 25% chance for the traps. That's not great. Then we have move silently. That's not gonna be affected. Oh, it is affected by dex. Okay. Move silently is 15 to start, plus 5, so we go to 20. 30 on the move silently. Hiding in shadows is a base 10%. The elf is going to give us another 10%. Hiding in shadows is a total of 30. Hear noise is going to be 15%. Climb walls, 85. And read languages is not going to come up for us right away. We know thieves can't, so we're just going to put can't up here. That's an extra language that we get. And the last feature we're going to get is backstabbing. Backstabbing is going to give us a +4 on top of the +2 from attacking from behind and the removal of any shields if we can sneak up on them using move silently or the hide in shadows feature. This will 2x the damage at our level. Okay, we skipped ahead with the alignment. We are going to be neutral. Next up, roll up hit points using your hit die for your class. And don't forget to apply your con modifier, good or bad. You always get at least 1. You can't die in character generation. This isn't Traveler after all. 3. All right, we have 3 hit points. Not bad. Could have been worse. Now we go to cha-ching, roll up your starting gold. This is on page 35 of the player's handbook. I get 2d6 times 10. Now for the slow part, use your money to buy clothing and supplies. Now, I am of the mind that you start with clothes, but you have to buy armor and weapons and any other tricks and stuff that you want. Okay, let's move over here and let's take a look. We need leather armor, that's 5 gold. Very cool. We're just gonna be documenting our gear back here. We have leather armor. Don't pay no attention to my ridiculous handwriting, okay? I am an adult, even though it looks like I'm a little kid. Okay, and then we need a sword and we want a bow. A short bow is 15 gold, so that's already 20 gold. And we'll get a long sword and a scabbard, giving us 5 gold left. We need arrows. 3 gold after we have 24 arrows. We do not have the money to buy thieves' tools. This is terrible news for us. We're just gonna have to be shooting stuff for a while. No money for thieves' tools. We're gonna put thieves' tools, 0. We need that. Okay, so we have 3 gold. We don't need much else. We need a couple of bags and how much is a 10-foot pole? We'll get the pole. Okay, and we're gonna have somebody else carrying these sacks of treasure because our guy is gonna be the sneaky dude. Sword is 60, short bow is 50, leather armor is 150, for roughly a total of 260 weight. The pole is another 100, so it's 360 weight. Okay, so my movement speed is going to be 12 because I have an increased strength, which allows me to carry up to 550 coin. Now we write down our AC based upon the armor worn and our dex modifier. So I'm wearing leather, that's 8, minus 4 from my dex. So that gives me an AC of 4. With no shield, it's still a 4. Right flank, oh, you know what? That is affected. And rear is going to be 6. This applies for a shield. So I have AC 4 unless I am being attacked from behind. Very cool. Now we have 2 weapons. We have the sword and we have the short bow. Our next step is write down your weapon proficiencies and proficiency penalty based upon the class. If the DM allows, a pro move is to list your weapon as proficient and leave the other potential proficiencies undeclared for when you find a magic weapon. Page 37. So our proficiencies are going to be these two. I do have a -3, but I'm not going to be using that ever. Just a -3 penalty. Let's go ahead and fill in a couple details here. The sword does 1 to 8 damage against small or medium. It does 1 to 12 damage against large creatures. Now I have a +0 here and a +0 here. Sadly, that's not that great. Oh, I do need my weapon speeds though. Let's put that weapon speed of 5. Now we go over to the short bow. The rate of fire is 2. That goes here, rate of fire, 2. That doesn't apply. The dex will apply, +3. So with the dex bonus of +3 to my attack roll, I'm doing pretty good. Now we're gonna come over to the ranges. We have 5, 10, and 15. And then the damage is 1d6. The next step says to fill in your attack matrix. So we'll put the bow down here, we'll put the sword up here. So against AC2 we have a -5, then -4, then it goes to -1, 0, 0, then we have +1, +2. We really like hitting these guys. +2 and +2. With the sword it's a little bit different. Instead, it's -2, -1, 0, 0, 0, 0. What this means is when I roll my d20, I do need to either add or subtract from the die roll and then add my modifier afterwards and then add their armor class and then hit 20. Okay, now we're gonna move over to writing down my saving throws. That's Dungeon Master's Guide, page 79. I come over to the thief section. I'm level 1 to 4, so for paralyzation and poison, I need a 13. I've already written the saves right over here. And then for petrification and polymorph, I need a 12. Rods, staves, and wands, 14, not great. 16 for breath. And for spells, I need a 15. Step 18, roll a D100 for your PC's secondary skill set. That's DMG page 12. Let's bump way back. We have a list here. An 11 tells me that I was a fisher. I used to fish. Anytime fishing comes up, maybe my character will just know extra information. Maybe things about the ocean he'll know. So that actually could come up quite a bit depending on what happens in the game. I also get to know my alignment language, which is true neutral. I did not give myself enough room for all of these languages that I know. And I also have 2 blank languages. I don't know. I think I'm just gonna wait until it comes up in the game and then I can just pick something. Now we're gonna go to step 20. We're almost done. Based on your race and sex, roll up your height and weight. This stuff becomes important for grappling. Okay, so on page 11 to 12, 11 to 12 is for humans and the age. We actually need to go a little further back to page 102. Okay, so we have the average height here. So we'll say evens, he's big, odds, he's little. Okay, odds, he is little, so we're gonna be minusing a D4, 60 inches. So he is actually 56 inches. And then his weight coming over, evens, he's bigger, odds, he's smaller. He is a little bigger in weight, so he's plus a D20, 18. So he goes to 118 pounds. He's a big elf. He's short, he's stocky. All right. Next up, we've got the bonus step, which is just for magic users and stuff, and we're not rolling psionics. I'm not even gonna deal with it. Okay, so what we need here, we need a really awesome name for this character. We need something cool, something metal. I think his name will be Throndar. Throndar, the thief. Okay, we have ourselves a character here, fully fleshed out. We've got some stuff on the back. He's only gonna be 1/3 of the party. We still have a couple more guys to go. I will be rolling them up later and then just like combining the videos together into one big mega video. Thank you, Dunder Moose, for this flipping guide. This has been invaluable. Try imagine doing that without a guide. Like having never done that before, you would never figure everything out. We have an excellent character. We will be back for the second character in just a little bit. All right, let's do our second character. We're gonna roll 3d6, 6 times for each stat. Then we take the highest number. Let's go. And then a 12. Okay, so we have a very solid character here. Using the Dunder Moose flipping guide, we're gonna move through this. So we have ability scores are rolled. Note that each ability score has a table that will limit your options in the next 2 steps. We're going fighter. Yeah, I think we're just gonna go with a half-orc fighter, but we'll have to look at the stats and see what that means for us. So we're going down to number 3. Note the ability score. Yeah, okay, pick a race. Available options are okay. Page 13 through 18 in the player's guide. Half-orc fighter. Yeah, we can do it. We can do it. We can be a half-orc fighter. That'll give us a +1 to our strength and our con. That'll go up to, that'll change this to a 17, this to a 17, but the charisma is gonna go down to a 13. That's okay. But let's keep going. Half-orcs, what all do they get? We want to make sure that we are accurately writing everything in as we go. We wanted this to go faster than the last one. So, it is assumed, yes, okay, half-orc, they speak the common tongue. Alignment language will be neutral. Orc, true neutral. Now, his intelligence is pretty solid, so he might be able to get some extra languages. Half-orcs have infravision, so we'll put that here. Infravision, and we're gonna put that out to 60 feet. Okay, they can learn up to a maximum of 2 additional languages. Let's look at the intelligence score. He has a 15. Okay, so he can get 2 more languages. We're just gonna put blank, blank, and we'll fill that in as the need arises. All right, it's gonna be level 1, half-orc neutral. I wrote the alignment in the wrong spot. We can see there will be an issue with the elf and the half-orc in the party. Maybe we can roleplay that, create some tension, a little bit of drama. Let's flip over to the fighter. The fighter is pretty standard. They're not gonna get a bunch of really cool features. We do get the extra 10% experience points. Yeah, so they don't get a lot of extra features, so this will be a very easy character to build. All right, let's go back to the flipping guide, try to follow it along as closely as we can. All right, we have adjusted the scores based upon the race already. We picked the class, we're good to go. Roll for age. This is based upon if you're human or a race if you're not. DMG page 12 and 13. We have a half-orc fighter. He will be 13 plus a D4. He is a young one. +1, so he is 14 years old. He is just a tyke. Half-orc, 14 years old, he is a young adult, which means he loses 1 point of wisdom, but he gets to add another point of constitution. So we'll make that adjustment real quick. Losing 1 point of wisdom brings him down to 11, but his constitution goes up to 18. What? That is amazing. We're gonna love those extra hit points, which is +3 for a fighter. All right, and then let's see. Oh, go back to the guide. Let's not get distracted. We need to move through this thing. Ability scores are finally set, so we are able to just start filling them into the character sheet. We have a strength of 17. We have the intelligence of 15, wisdom of 11 after the changes. We have a 14 dex, 18 con, very amazing in every way, and the charisma of 13. All right, so now we're gonna fill in what each of those mean for the class. Strength table, we have a 17. Hit probability goes up +1. Damage goes up +1. 500 extra coin weight, very cool, plus 500. So that's quite a lot of weight. He opens doors at 1 through 3, and he has a 10% chance to bend bars. Intelligence, he has the 2 extra languages, we wrote that down, +0 on the wisdom. Dexterity, I don't think a 14 does much. Let's see. 14 on a dex, 0, 0. Okay, no modifying there. Con, though, on the other hand, is going to be significant for us because we have an 18. Bonus applies only to fighters. All other classes may be given a maximum of +2. We get a +4 to our hit points. We have a 99% chance of shock survival, and then there's a 100% chance that we get resurrected. That is very, very cool. Now, our charisma went down to a 13. That's too bad. We can have up to 5 guys, 0 modifier, and then 5 modifier there. Very cool. I'm thinking about going just like leather armor so we can be very sneaky, and yeah, that would be pretty cool. We'll have to see how much gold we get. Okay. Also, he can be like our carrying capacity guy. We need somebody to actually carry the treasure. Write down all the cool stuff your race and your class can do at first level. We actually just did that. Pay attention to your alignment restrictions on the race and the class. Very cool. Pick an alignment based, yeah, we already did that. Roll up your hit points. Now this is where I get a little nervous. We don't want to roll too low, but we do get to add 4. Oh my goodness, 8 + 4, that is 12 HP. We have a real serious contender here. I am glad to see it. All right, we rolled up our hit points, and now we're gonna keep moving. Cha-ching, roll up your starting gold. That's PHB, page 35. We need to roll a little bit more treasure than we did last time. Now this is 5d4. Let me grab up a bunch of d4. There's 2, 3, 4. That might be all I have right there. That's okay, we can just roll an extra 1 later. All right, we have 2, 4, 8, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14, is it times 10? It is. 14 times 10, I have 140 gold. That's a solid number of gold to actually get some treasure. Okay, let's put that over here, 140. Oh, that's one thing I didn't adjust. We only have 3 gold left. Trying to build a dark vision group, an infravision group, so that way we don't have to worry about torches and like dealing with all that. We can just move through the darkness pretty swiftly, especially if I go light armor on this guy. That could be pretty great. We could just like be sneaking around. We have our starting money. Now for the slow part. Use this money to buy clothing and supplies. So we need page 35. We're gonna come over here. I think we are a fighter, so we're gonna need a large shield up front. That's 15. We're gonna need, what can we afford? We can afford banded, but then we're kind of broke. Let's go with chainmail at first. All right, we're at 90 gold spent. We have 50 gold left. We have to get a helmet. It's 35 gold left. And now we need a weapon. Do we need a shield? A shield is probably, oh, we already paid for the shield. Okay, now we need a good weapon, a nice weapon that we can use. All right, we're gonna take a spear here. That gives us 34 gold. All right, we're gonna be writing down our equipment here. We have a shield, we have the great helm. We need a big helmet to keep our head safe. We don't wanna get smacked on the noggin. We are getting chainmail and a shield. Oh, and a spear, I'm sorry, and a spear. Let's look at the damage we're gonna be doing here. We have strength is gonna be +1 to hit, and we're going to have 0 magic for now. And the damage is going to be, for the spear, it's going to be 2 to 7 against small creatures and 2 to 9 against larger creatures. I can also like set that to take a charge, and then somebody can just get impaled on that. That's pretty good. Speed is going to be 7 minus 2. We're just gonna go ahead and fill this in real quick just because I know what to do for this. So we're doing our weapon adjustment against armor class. So spear is really good against unarmored or very lightly armored. Your class restricts your weapons and armor. Not for fighters though. Write down the weight of your weapons. So this is something we need to do. 124. I think we're gonna be doing a little bit of charging with this spear, to be honest with you. All right, so we have a spear here, and we're going with the middle road. We chose the middle speed, so it's gonna be 50. 50. And then we have the shield. Oh, that's in the Dungeon Master's Guide. Remember, we gotta switch over to that. We're getting a little faster at this. We're not taking so long just staring off into nothingness while we figure it out. Page 239, the very back. The helmet is 100. The chainmail, 300. Oh my goodness. The large shield is another 100. All right, these are the 4 things I have. We're at, yikes. We're already at 550, so I can carry another 500 coin. All right, we have chain and a shield. This gives us AC 4 from the front. Without the shield, we have AC 6. From the right flank, we have AC 6, and from the, oh, no, that's not right, sorry. The shield is only +1. We have AC 5, AC 5. This is AC 6 from the rear. Do you guys see how I did that? If you have your full shield and the chainmail. If you don't have the shield, you only have the +5. Same thing with the right flank. If you're attacked from the right flank, you're not covered with your shield. So that's 5. And then if you get attacked from rear, it's +5. Yeah, it's +5. I gotta stop making these mistakes. +5. Okay, now I think it's right, which means we need to fix this one. It's just 4, right? I think this is fixed. Okay, yeah. Now it is time for weapon proficiencies. As a fighter, I get 4 weapon proficiencies, but spear will be one of them. When I'm attacking, I have a -2 if I'm using a not proficient weapon, but that's okay. We'll have plenty of time. I will choose those as I collect them. I know you're supposed to do it at character creation, but this is a solo play. We're just gonna make do with what we've got. We have 34 gold still. Now we need to go to the saving throws on Dungeon Master, page 79, and fill those in. Fighters at level 1 need a 14 for this one, a 15 for polymorph, 16 for rods, 17 for breath weapon, ouch, and a 17 for spells. Not great. I'm gonna roll a D100. 91. Let's see. This is DMG page 12 to get a secondary skill. 91 gives us, roll twice, ignoring this hereafter. So we have 2 skills. An 11 is I think we saw that one earlier, a fisher, okay. And also a 13, we got fisher twice. Let's reroll because we need 2. 30. Animal husbandry and fisherman. And a fisher. Okay, cool. If that comes up in the game, which it could with animal husbandry, maybe. Yeah, maybe we'll get like a benefit from that. We already have our languages written down. Based on your race and sex, roll up your height and weight. This stuff becomes important. We need to go to page 102. Half orc. Evans says he is bigger. He is smaller by a D4. He is 63 inches, and his weight, Evans is bigger. He is smaller, okay. 150 minus 2d8. Okay, let's see. 8 and 15, wow. 150 minus 15 is 135. Okay, he's not gonna be that great at grappling, I'll tell you that. All right, my man can go 6 inches, not great. Okay, so I think we have our character, he is all done. Let's see, looking at this. Yes, we need a name and we need the fighter title, which I forgot to look at when we were on the fighter page. We can do that right now. He needs a really cool, he's a cool heavy metal kind of name, just like our last guy. We want him to strike fear in the hearts of the weak. He is a veteran. Should have actually known that. That is semi-common knowledge. A veteran of many wars. Not Bargle, because that's a criminal name, as you guys know. Burgo. He's got a tough name, Burgo. All right, everything is filled in, and we have 25 gold left. Let's flip to a new blank sheet. And let's roll up, let's see, strength, intelligence, wisdom, dexterity, constitution, and charisma. We can roll up some more stats real quick and then we'll finish up later. 3d6, 6 times for each stat. Here we go. Now, for the last set, we have a fighter, we have a thief. This will be a magic user. We're gonna need a cleric. And so we're gonna be using, I think we're gonna need to use method 1, which allows us to roll 4d6, drop the lowest, and then you can arrange the stats any way you want. I think that'll be the way we have to do the last character, because we do need, I was thinking we should have 4 probably instead of 3. And we're gonna need some heals. So let's do that right now. This will be character number 4. So with this is a very awesome character. We will be able to make a cleric as well, who will be able to like heal us and stuff. So yeah, this is really good. So this will be our magic user. This will be our cleric. We're going to fill in the character sheets one at a time. This is taking a long time. This video is going to be quite long once I compile all of these videos, because I'm cutting them up over a period of a few hours, and then yesterday I did a couple, and I'm gonna do a couple more today. This is gonna be a long video, so I am gonna still stick to just like one character at a time. We're gonna chip this thing away, and eventually there's gonna be a massive video demonstrating Dunder Moose's 20 flippin' steps, and you guys are gonna be able to use this and know how to do it at home. So let's start with our magic user. Today is his birthday. We're gonna roll up our ability scores. We have done that. Note that each ability score has a table that'll limit your options in the next 2 steps. That's okay. We're okay with that. And so pick a race from the available options based upon your ability scores. So right now we know that we want a magic user, but I don't know which race I want. So I'm gonna go to page 13. Let's take a look. Magic user. I don't want to be limited. Elves, very cool. We already have an elf. Half elf, yeah, or human. I think we need to stick with the dark vision option. It's been working for us pretty well. Do elves have a limit on their, I'm sure they do. I think they will. Let's see. Elf, magic user. They can go up to a level 11. Elven magic users with intelligence of less than 17 are limited to 9th level. Those with intelligence of 17 are limited to 10th level. So we can get up to 10th level. We need the 18 to ever get to 11th level. Yeah, okay, we're gonna go elf. So that is going to be adjusting our dex up to 14, but the constitution is gonna go down to 11 from here. So here's our stats, but again, the only thing that's really gonna matter for us a lot is the intelligence. That's what we need. Now we're going to roll for the age. We are a magic user, an elf, so it's gonna be 150 plus 5d6. Let's get another d6 over here. Wow, massive numbers here. Okay, so that's 10, that's 21, 24. So 150 plus 24 is 174 years old. My magic user is 174. He's an old elf. We're gonna write elf here, level 1. Class is a magic user. Now we reduce the wisdom by 1 and we add the constitution back to what we had because I am a young adult. So the con's gonna go back up to 12, but the wisdom's gonna go down to 13. Not a big deal. And that means that our ability scores are set, and at this point we can start filling in the character sheet with the final numbers. So let's slide this over. We have a 13 strength, our intelligence is 17, our wisdom is 13 now with the -1, our dex is 14, we have a constitution of 12, and a charisma of 15. As we go through each of the stats in the player's handbook, we will put in the modifiers for each of these stats. With a strength, we get a 13 plus 0 to the damage. I think we get, oh, we do get an extra 100 coin weight. We open doors on a 1 through 2, and we have a very small chance, 4% chance of ever bending bars. That's, yeah, probably not gonna happen. Our intelligence is quite high. We have a maximum intelligence, possible number of additional languages 6, but our race will dictate that actually. Chances to know a spell is going to be 75%. I am not gonna roll all of this up. This is something you're just gonna have to do on your own. You go through each spell and you roll whether or not you learn it. There is a max number, minimum number of spells per level. I get to know 8, and the max I get to know is 14. So I'll just put min 14 max. You go through each, I'll just walk you through it real quick. You go through each spell for level 1. You start with some already, and then you roll on each spell and see if you're within 75 or under, whether you could ever learn that spell. As you succeed in learning it, these will go into your spell book. So just keep that in mind, that you won't get all of the spells. If you go all the way through the list and you don't have your minimum number of spells, then you go back through the top and you go through it again until you hit that number. Let's go over to wisdom. A wisdom of 13 gives us no modifier, plus 0. Dex of 14 doesn't do much for us either, 0 and 0. Con of 12, not spectacular, nothing to get excited about, but we have plus 0 here, 80% chances of the shock to the system survival, and then there's an 85% chance of resurrection. Charisma is pretty solid. We have 7 possible retainers with a 15 base loyalty bonus and a reaction bonus of 15 as well. Now we're gonna go and write down all the cool stuff your race and your class can do at first level. Pay attention to alignment restrictions. All right, I think we're going to be neutral. It doesn't really care much about anything except for magic. All right, we already have another elf, so we can just go through and look at everything we put here. So we have, he had an intelligence of 17 as well. So we know elf. We're gonna write smaller. Here we wrote down all of the elf languages just like we had on Throndar. Then we wrote down the special abilities where the 90% resisting charm and sleep, +1 to hit with bows. We have infravision and the finding secret doors. We can also surprise if it's just Throndar and this magic user sneaking, they can surprise on a 1 through 4 as long as they're not breaking through a door. All right, we're gonna switch back over here, and we wrote down our alignment as neutral. Roll up your hit points using the hit die for your class. This is just a D4, and so here's gonna be our squishy boy. We have 3 hit points. Starting money is on page 35. We are getting faster at this. Magic users, they're gonna start with 20 to 80, so 2d4, and then we just multiply by 10. We have 60. Now comes the slow part. Use your money to buy clothing and supplies. Also, we need to come over to the magic user section before we buy our supplies and make sure we're not missing anything about the magic user that is going to be relevant to the starting. He gets 10% XP bonus. Not really anything that we need to include. I think we're just going to go with the dagger. It's the safest bet. We will be buying 4 daggers. Each of them are 2 gold each, so we're going to spend 8 of our gold on that. And we're going to buy some oil because maybe we can start some fires and burn some stuff. Oil is actually quite effective, and so that's each 1 gold. We're going to buy another 4 of those, so we've already spent 12 gold. Okay, we will also need a tinderbox, so we've spent 13 gold, and we're going to have our magic user with 4 sacks, so not even 14 gold. All right, look at this. I think we are ready to rock and roll. Rope, we need rope. Rope is nice. Our magic user will buy our thief the lockpick, the thieves' tools, because these guys are going to be brothers. They're both neutral elves. These guys, Throndar, and we're going to figure out a name for this other guy. They're going to be brothers, and they're going to look out for each other. Armor class, 10. Okay, so our max weight is 650. 650 is our weight maximum, which means we're moving at 12 inches. Our AC does not get adjusted because of the dex. That's too bad. Let's go down to 15. Write down your weapon proficiencies and your non-proficiency penalty. This is actually something I am gonna need to remember. Let's see, magic user, he's only gonna get the daggers, and he has -5. -5 if he's not using a dagger. Not great. But since dagger has both a melee and a throw option, we're gonna put dagger twice. He's gonna be using it to throw. Combat tables we don't need because I know the math for AC 20. And then page 38, 1, 2, 4, 1 to 4. And against big creatures, daggers don't do as much damage. Daggers have a speed factor of 2. Daggers have a fire rate of 2. And this is going to be 0 against dex and 0 here. Got to be pretty close though. I filled in the melee and the ranged armor class adjustment to hit armor class adjustment. Looking at throwing, it is not a great option. There's going to be a lot of minuses against armored creatures, but you know, that's just a part of it. Now we're going to do our secondary skill set and our saving throws. For that, we need the Dungeon Master's Guides. Flipping back over. Let's see, what did my guy do before he became a magic user? 73 tells us that our guy was no skill or of measurable worth. So he was just a lifetime student. Too bad. All right, and then we are going to do his saving throws. Now, those are on page 79. 14, 13, 11, very nice, 15, and 12. He has solid saving throws. That's really good. We will write down the languages, which we already did, based on your race, your sex. Roll up your height and weight. This is in the Dungeon Master's Guide. We're gonna go to page 102 for this because I am an elf. All right, evens, I am bigger. I am shorter by a D3. So 3 inches shorter. Oh, it's a D4, sorry. I was looking at the gnome. 3 inches shorter, so 57 height. And my weight, evens, I am bigger. I am bigger, okay? Elf is the second, and so we go up by a D20 of weight. 2. Okay, 102 based upon your race. Yeah, got that. All right, bonus. Now this actually will apply. The next rule applies only to the specific classes. Cleric, no. Magic users, you start with read magic, and you get 3 more. 1 from the offensive list, 1 from the defensive list, and 1 miscellaneous. Roll a D10 3 times. You get what you get, and you don't lose your wits. So let's see, let's turn the paper over. We have read magic, and then Dungeon Master's Guide, page 39. So here is the acquisition of spells. I'll read that again later, but for now, I know I roll a D10 for each of these 3 columns. The first column is a D10. Okay, here we go. 7, I have push. Second column. 9 is ventriloquism. And miscellaneous. 9 is the right spell. So I don't know what push does, but this is my offensive spell, so hopefully it's good. But I have read magic and write, so this is a nice little combo because it allows me to transfer spells that I like from spell scrolls into my spell book, so that's pretty cool. All right, I think our boy is done. He does need a name. What is in a name? Okay, so we have Throndar, his brother, and this is gonna be Gondar. Throndar, maybe not Gondar, maybe Gondolin. I like that, Gondolin. All right, and a title. Oh, our boy needs a title. He is, I think it's Prestidigitator at level 1. Yeah, Prestidigitator. I don't know how to spell that. Let's see. That is a massive word to write. We have Gondolin, the Prestidigitator, neutral elf magic user. He has the push spell, so maybe that's good. He does have a 10% increased experience points. Let's go. Last up, we have our cleric with just some amazing stats. I'm really excited about putting this together. And so I was thinking we have 2 elven brothers. We're also going to have 2 half-orc brothers. This is going to be super fun. They're all neutral, and so like that's what's going to bring them together in the game world. And there's going to be some inter-party dynamics, and then the brothers are going to be bickering over who gets what treasure. I think we can make something really fun from this. So looking at Dunder Moose's guide, we're going to go back to step 1. If you guys have made it this far, you should have a really good idea of what's going on. I have been kind of skipping some of the numbers and like going back and forth, like doing 4 instead of 3, but it's all good. So as long as you hit up all the 20 steps, you're going to have a character. We have here, let's see, roll ability scores. We did that. We used method 1 for this. And note that, yeah, okay, so pick a race from the available options based upon the ability scores. What I'm thinking is half-orc, because that would make for a very good brother character, and we could stick with the idea that we don't need a torch, which I really want to continue that deal. So let's see. Yeah, half-orcs can be clerics. We know that he will have common and orc as a language. We're just gonna fill in some of the stuff that we know for sure is gonna be set. And he gets infravision. He gets nice stat adjustments, which is really cool. And it'll work out well, I think, for the class. We're going to assign these stats however we want. And what I think is we want, okay, I think this is how we want to arrange it. We don't know how the age is gonna roll out, so it's gonna change some of these stats, but for now, this is what we're gonna do. And then we reduce this by 2. It goes down to 11. And then, so I didn't explain. This is my strength, intelligence, wisdom, dex, con, and charisma. So the charisma is going to go down to 11. The constitution is going to go up to 14. And the strength is going to go up to 16. Now we're going to pick the class we already did. That's cleric. Now we roll for age. This is what's going to impact the stats. This is actually a very important roll. So let's come over to the Dungeon Master's Guide on page 12. Very beginning of the book. This is something I didn't even do the first time we played. The first time I tried Advanced Dungeons and Dragons, I think. I don't remember. So here we need to roll the age. And a half-orc cleric is 20 plus a d4. 3. So he is 23 years old. We can put that down on the character sheet. He is going to have the 10% XP no matter what. 23 for a half-orc means that he is in the mature age range. So we subtract a point of wisdom, it goes down to 17. We add a point of constitution. So this goes to 17. And then we add a point of constitution, bringing this up to 15, which is still not a modifier, I don't think. And then we go to mature. We add our point back. This goes back to 18, and then we add a point of strength going to 17, which is going to give us a little bit more damage, I think. Okay, now we have our final scores because he is in the mature range. Excellent. And he will stay there for a while. Now our scores are locked, so we can start writing this stuff in. 17 strength, intelligence of 11, wisdom of 18, very cool. Dexterity 16 is going to give us a bonus, and then we have our con of 15, which I don't remember that being a +1. and then we'll have an 11 charisma. Now let's go back, looking at each of the stats and filling in the correct modifiers. So the 17 actually gives us a +1 to hit and a +1 damage. We have an extra 500 coin, which gives us a total of 1,050 coin that we can carry. We open doors on 1 through 3, and we have a 10% chance of just bending bars. We have a very strong cleric. He's going to be a frontline dude. Intelligence is going to be +0 to any additional languages. Wisdom, though, we get the +4 to our magical saves. That is very cool, and we can go all the way up to the spell levels. Actually, we'll have to see when the orc caps. He might not ever reach those levels, and that's okay. Dexterity with the 16, this is +1 to attacks with range, and it gives us a -2 on our armor class. Very cool, we love to see it. Our constitution is at a 15. Oh, we do get a hit point. We do get one, awesome. 91 shock and 94 res. The charisma is not great. I mean, he's a half orc, he's not gonna have an awesome charisma. He's gonna have 4, and then everything else is just gonna be flat zeros here for the reactions. All right, we have all the cool stuff that our class gets. We do get bonus spells, which is amazing. We can, let's look at the class, because we already wrote down the half-orc stuff. The half-orc stop leveling. Cleric, half-orc. Okay, so the half-orc can go up to level 4 in cleric. Oh, that is brutal. I didn't realize it was such a low number. Yeah, that's not great, because I could have actually put that in my strength. You know, no big deal. It's fine, because we still get the +4 to saves, and we're gonna get all those bonus spells. It's fine, we don't need to worry about it. All right, so, and you know, getting a character to level 4, especially in a solo play, takes a long time. So we may never even get to level 4. We have turn undead, that's gonna be huge later. And then we have an alignment we already chose. Then we get to roll up our hit points. We get a D8, and then we get to add 1 to whatever it is we roll. Okay, so we have 3 hit points. Not spectacular, but it's better than 2. Now we're gonna switch to gold. We're gonna go to page 35. Clerics get 3d6, and then you multiply by 10. Oh, I actually have some d6 over here. All right, we have 110 gold to buy some stuff. I think for level 1, we should stick with being second line, because he's only got 3 hit points, and he's the only person who can heal. So while the rest of the team can stabilize him, I think that it'll be better if he gets a few more hit points before we start throwing him into the melee combat. Here we go. So we are gonna give him leather armor. You know, well, we can afford chain and a shield. That's gonna put him at 90. And we'll have 20 gold left. We'll need a helmet. That's 15. How much is a mace though? If a mace is 8, a horseman's mace, a morning star. Okay, oh, but morning stars have the spikes that'll cause bleeding. So we'll have to forego the helmet for now and get the footman's mace. So that is, we'll have 7 gold left. And we'll write the footman's mace, chainmail, and shield. He won't need the helmet unless if he's in melee, and we're gonna try to keep him out of melee. Give him a couple bags, because that's only like coppers, and he's gonna be able to carry some extra weight. We've moved over to page 124. We're looking at the footman's mace. It is 100 coin weight to carry. And then we also have to look at the weight of the gear, and that's on page 239 of the DMG. Would have been nice if all of this was on the same page. Come on, Gary. So we also have a shield. How much does that weigh? We have a large shield, it's 100. And then the chainmail is going to weigh quite a lot. Let's see, it's fairly bulky, 300. But we can still go 9 inches with that. So we have 500. Yeah, okay, so that's 9 inches. And you know what? Let's go back and look at our fighter, Burgo. He should also be 9 inches. See, I hope you guys watch this all the way to the end so you can see that I'm like fixing the mistakes that I make. Chainmail is just a little bit better than the plate. All right, that's the major stuff that I have. I'm not carrying I'm not worried about a bunch of boots and stuff and like how much my pants weigh. I'm not getting into the nitty gritty of that. Let's see, write down your speed and encumbrance. We just did that. Write down your AC based upon your armor plus your dex modifier. Well, it's actually minus your dex modifier, but let's go to page 36 of the player's handbook, and we are almost done with 4 different characters getting made. I hope you guys stuck with me this whole time. Oh, I turned right to the right page. Chainmail and a shield puts you at 4. And then I also have -2. I have an AC of 2, my dude. Now, if I'm in melee, it's not AC of 2. It'll be AC of 7 because my helmet isn't, I don't have a helmet. Unless if my fighter has some extra cash. Oh, Burgo does have some extra cash. Burgo is going to throw his brother a helmet, a great helm. And I don't remember how much that weighs. It's 50. All right, nice. Oh, and yeah, okay, very cool. So now it will be, my AC will be 2. Okay, when I don't have the shield, my AC is 3. Attacking from the right, AC is 3, and attacking from the rear, AC is 3 because you don't get the shield. Oh, and you don't get the dex benefit from behind either, I don't think. Ooh, we'll have to look that up. I can't seem to find the answer to that, so maybe you guys can leave a comment below if I get to add my dexterity to my armor class from the rear AC. I'm not sure about that. That's a good question. We're gonna have to find out. Cleric gets 2 weapon proficiencies and he attacks at a -3. We're gonna have the mace for now. That'll be all. The mace, the footman's mace, does 2 to 7. So it will be 3 to 8 for my guy because he has a strength bonus to his damage. And then we'll have 2 to 7 damage against larger creatures. Weapon speed of 6, and let's add in the adjustments. So I actually get a bonus to the higher armor classes because I get to punch through their heavy plate, and I like just zeros across the board. That feels nice. I don't have to lose anything. Oh wow, look at that. We need to do our saving throws next. Let's see, we already have our alignment, our title, Acolyte. Now we're gonna roll up our secondary skills. 14 tells us the man was a fisher. So many fishers. Maybe that's how everybody met. Oh, that's funny. Okay, and then we're going to look at the saving throws. This is on page 79. We have a 10, a 13, a 14 against rods, staffs, and wands. We have a breadth of 16 and 15 for spells. Very cool. Last thing we need to do is the height and the weight. Well, I don't know if there's actually the bonus step on for a cleric, but let's see, height and weight. Half orc, evens, he is bigger. He is not, he is smaller. By 1, he is 65 inches tall, and his weight is evens, he's bigger. He is bigger. It's 4 to 40, so we're gonna roll a bunch of d10s. 17, 21. So 171 on the weight. Oh, all right. And then we go down to the bonus section. The next rules apply only. Choose this day whom you will serve. Pick a deity. That will be Kythanos in our world. Make up sure, okay, Okay, now we'll just choose our spells before the session and we are ready to rock. We need a name for our dude, and I was thinking Turgeon. Turgeon and Burgo. Turgeon of Mir is a callback to Appendix N, if you guys know it. So we have 2 brothers. We have Burgo and Turgeon, and then another set of brothers, Throndar and Gondolin. And so, yeah, we have a full party here. If you have liked this, please hit like and subscribe. Thank you for watching. I'll catch you in the next one very soon. Bye-bye.